Hello everybody, welcome to my video. I read online and I see all the comments of many brides that are uncertain about what's going to happen to their wedding. So I want to tell you this is a story of how I'm postponing my wedding because of COVID-19. So to give a little bit of context, I moved to Canada about 3 years ago and I met the love of my life here. We decided to get married. We could not afford at the moment to do this big, huge wedding celebration. So we decided to go to City Hall, sign the paperwork. But there was always this feeling that we owed the rest of our family a proper ceremony. So after so much back and forth, it led us to postponing our wedding a couple times before we finally set a date for April 11, 2020, current year. And that date is, the date is coming, and we recently, as in a few days ago, decided to postpone the wedding. We don't have a date yet. We're working on that, and yeah, so it is what it is. As I was saying before, I'm seeing a lot of people online that are commenting like, it's my wedding, I don't care, I'm gonna do it, I don't care if only 3 people show up, and that's fine. I mean, you do your thing. However, I just want to point out some things that people do not consider when making a huge family event and a huge gathering in general. Again, to each their own, but I think it's important for people to hear how this story went so they understand that the impact of making a decision is not only about, oh, I have to do my wedding no matter what because I already paid for it, because I already wanted to do it. Please, this is not a story about how much I'm suffering because I was a bride-to-be and now I have to wait. Definitely, this is not the case. I just want people to understand that if you have to postpone a major life event in order to keep the ones that you love, which are usually the ones that are near you in a wedding, safe, think about it all the way through, because you might actually be saving some lives. Now, let me start by saying that I'm not from Canada, as I originally mentioned. My husband is not Canadian, so we are mixed family, blended family, not sure. We have some wonderful friends that became family here, and it all just exploded from there, right? We have friends from around the world here living in Canada, friends that used to live in Canada that now living around the world. But there's people that we love, appreciate, and that we want to keep close to us. Now, this all started to detonate the moment that my husband's side of the family started canceling and saying, hey, we don't really know if we're gonna make it because we cannot fly. That was the moment where we started to realize that things were getting serious. And I'm talking serious as in I was living on my own planet as I'm wedding mode. We have to get this done. Getting frustrated at myself because I don't know where I'm gonna go. I'm trying to make the plans when I'm gonna go, etc, etc, etc. Things to check. I don't know. As you can see, as I'm going through that in my mind, I'm reliving it. So I guess that's what started hitting us, that yeah, things are getting serious. Then when the family here said, you know what, we're not gonna do it, we're not gonna go, it became way more serious. Say, hey, we actually have to consider that something's wrong in the world and it's not as far as we thought. Now, because the emergency was not declared where the wedding's gonna be, it put an extra layer of stress on us to say, hey, what if we reschedule or what if we cancel? And then there's all these fees and this money that we lose, and you know, all those things that you are working with your vendors and thinking, oh my god, what's gonna happen? It became very paralyzing, and I admittedly would say, for a second or two, we thought, you know what, screw it. We're gonna do it. We don't care. We have to do it and we have to get this off our table. First of all, if you're thinking about your wedding as something that you have to get off the table, right now, I have to do it. Honestly, don't do it. It's another layer of pressure that you're taking that it doesn't really help to make clear decisions. Like, I know it sounds cheesy, but it's real. And I had to sit down with my husband for a moment and realize we're anything but chill. We're not enjoying this process right now, and we are deeply concerned about how things are gonna happen. How it evolved is that, of course, we have to travel. And as the days have gone through, more and more restrictions. Right now I live in a country where, first of all, I work from home, so self-quarantine wouldn't be terrible. My husband doesn't work from home, but there's the possibility of, not completely being unpaid for those 2 weeks. But still, the fact that you come through an airport and somebody checks you and somebody says, yeah, by the way, you have to self-quarantine 14 days without leaving your house for absolutely no reason, it's scary. Second to that part is the fact that we might feel fine. Stress, adrenaline, whatever, just like might get you through the day, might get you through the situation. But we're going to a place, and by a place I mean a ballroom with how many people are going, of different age, status, different ages in general, who are not necessarily in their best shape, and they might not know it. So you have to think about that too. You have to think about the fact that my husband's mom cannot travel on her own because, she has to stop in Europe, and that's bad. And if she makes it, she's going to arrive to be quarantined, which, like, why? Quarantine here, quarantine there, whatever, it makes no sense. And you're putting more stress in people, but also you never know what you're spreading. So I have my mom. I love her to pieces, and I do know that even if she is a healthy woman, she's already in her 60s, so I should really be careful on what do I bring her. I want to bring her joy, not issues. Some family friends alongside with my mom make suggestions. We just talked about it, and we decided to pull the plug on a wedding that we've been planning for almost 2 years. And it's hard. As much as you don't want to admit it, it's hard because it was a consolidation of things that happened that were not very clear originally, and we probably made it fast. We didn't rush, but we made it fast because we didn't have all these things going on. So that was the moment where we thought, okay, so this is where we're gonna celebrate. We're a family. This is where we're gonna have a good time. This is where we're gonna do this and the other. And you see that dream fading a little bit, and it's hard. And I get it, but I also don't want to come out of a wedding where people start telling me, oh yeah, by the way, remember these and this person? Yeah, so they are all in the hospital after your wedding. Hard enough it is for me. I work from home every day. So social isolation, social separation, however they're calling it right now, it's a nightmare for me because I'm here all day, every day, and I just finish my shift and I want to go out, see the world, see the sun. The sun's coming back in Canada, which is like, wow, you should be outside. Not anymore. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is it's fine. We're all gonna be fine. There is no need to panic. But there is opportunity to do something for someone that you don't want to do. And there is also opportunity to do something better for somebody by avoiding a possible issue. So reading online, I see all these comments like, I don't care if only 3 people show up. It would be great if only 3 people showed up, and then it's only you, your partner, and other 3 people, and then the circle is just there. But what if not only 3 people show up? What if more people show up? What if one of those 3 people has a kid? What if one of those people is actually taking care of an elderly patient? You know? What if somebody decides just right after your wedding to go visit their grandparents? Or have to house sit for the grandparents? I don't know. I guess that you don't really know how far the consequences of your decisions go. And fortunately, the venue has been nice enough to say, we understand. The venue said, we understand. We are having a massive amount of cancellations of people that are actually very worried about it. So we understand it. We will hold it, and please let us know when you want to reschedule. We're working on that right now. But I mean, I say this with a really heavy heart as well. Where the wedding's gonna be, it was gonna be mostly my family and friends, which I adore to pieces. I love them to pieces, and I really, really appreciate it. And that in the moments before all these crashed, when we were still in the yes or in the no, they all said, don't worry, we'll be there for you guys to support you regardless of who shows up or who does not show up. I love them to pieces, and I will completely forever appreciate that. But I also always appreciate all the messages of concern, all the conversations, all the texts, and all the seriousness of, we can't do this without representation of your husband's family. It's unfair because it's both of your wedding day, so we should, consider the possibility of doing something better in a way where at least there's more chances for people to show up and no or not a lot of risk involved. So that is what it is right now. We are putting together this multicultural, multinational wedding, and without even thinking about it, we have realized that putting this together is a lot of work, a lot of logistics, and also inadvertently we have realized that this is our life, and our life as a multicultural mixed family requires a lot of logistics, which is hilarious. I find it amusing and hilarious. I don't know, some people may find it stressful. I find it so amusing. I love it. But in this very specific case, I love it, and I love them so much that I don't want to put anybody, and especially ourselves and our close families, through what could potentially be a disaster. That being said, just because your wedding got canceled doesn't mean that your relationship is no more valid or something. I don't know what is the panic if people are understanding what's going on. Think about it, process every single thing in your head and say, hey, I'm throwing a wedding for 75 people, but only 3 or 4 might show up. 2 of them are my parents, who are way past the 50-year-old mark, and consider their health, and is it really worth it? And just be honest with yourself and say, is this actually meaning that I'm less committed to my relationship? I say no. I say that there's always an opportunity to make a good party, and it's definitely, you feel it in the chest, like, oh my god, so much preparation, but whoever's gonna be there for you is gonna be there for you, and it's your turn to do the same for them, to protect their health and their safety. I'll keep you guys posted. I know this is not a video that says like, oh my god, I fought with the bender and then this horror story. I guess the horror story is the one that we're all living right now. Please be conscious of what's going on. Do not see this time as, oh my god, I'm just gonna go get lost. No. Remember that there's people that can only carry so much with their hands. Elderly people, disabled people. They cannot probably, put their trunks like crazy and just go crazy. No. Be conscious and just, I'll keep you posted on how this story is evolving. Sorry, it's not more interesting than that, but I think it's important for somebody to let people know that even if you have the whole thing together where you're trying to bring so many parts of the world together and you think it's alive or dead, it's alive or dead. Love you. See you.